Do not go.
That girl held me.
I'm Sherlie.
I forgot to ask Sherlie why she called Alan. I also forgot not to ask why she had to lie by telling Alan that she was being held captive. Today, I'm with Mr. Kim escorted Mr. Brian went to the airport using Mr. Kim's European car. Mr. Brian will return to Los Angeles. During the trip, Mr. Brian still had time to tease me. Apparently, he had also told Mr. Kim about my trip yesterday, when Mr. Brian took me to meet Sherlie at her house.
Are you going there again?
Mr. Brian tried to tease me.
Don't be like that, Brian. Have you never been young?
Come on.
Don't worry, I'll drive you.
Now it's Mr. Kim is teasing me. The journey is very far. I don't know if I will go there again or not.
If you go there by car, the trip only takes about 1 hour. Brian uses a motorbike on purpose. He doesn't have a car driving license.
Kim, you know yourself. The cost of the toll road here is very expensive. I don't really like driving cars.
Alright then, if you're going there again tell me, I'll take you to that place.
Is that true?
Of course.
Mr. Kim drove to the airport parking lot. We went down and checked in and our luggage was checked by airport security. I'm no stranger to this airport, because this is also the airport where Mr. Brian and I was departing from Vermont at that time. Tulsa International Airport.
See you again. Kim, thank you.
Mr. Brian shaking Mr. Kim's hand.
Go after what you want. Remember that.
I nodded. Mr. Brian is very good to me. He already considers me as his younger brother. Each meeting will have goodbye. I don't know when I can meet Mr. Brian again. But my mind told me that we will meet again. Mr. Brian had boarded a plane bound for Los Angeles to continue his life there. I'm with Mr. Kim got back in the car and continued the journey back home. Mr. Kim is also a very nice person. He let me stay at his house while I was studying at Wesleyan University. During my stay at his house, Mr. Kim never wants to take rent from me. Mr. Kim told me that he had also been helped by a teacher at Wesleyan University and allowed Mr. Kim to stay at the teacher's house when Mr. Kim had just arrived in Oklahoma from his native. He considers his actions to me as a return of gratitude for the people who helped him first.
Yesterday, I found some mystery novels scattered in front of your room. Are you in a hurry?
Mr. Kim dispelled my reverie. I accidentally dropped it. I'm sorry for bothering you.
Do you think tidying up the books bothers me? You like mysteries?
I really like mystery stories.
Just like Mr. Sean.
Who is Mr. Sean?
He used to be a teacher at Wesleyan University. He was the one who helped me when I just arrived in Oklahoma.
The person who at that time allowed Mr. Kim to stay at his house.
Yes, he is, Mr. Sean.
He answered, looking far into his past. Is he still teaching at Wesleyan University?
No, Mr. Sean has been depressed for a long time. He was sent to the Oklahoma Center for Mental Illness.
I shocked. What happened?
Initially, he made a book that contains his journey while crossing an ocean. However, the book instead focuses on finding a creature that has supernatural powers. And it turns out, he is sentenced to have a mental illness. But do you know? He's not crazy. Completely normal.
He said while laughing. I'm sorry to hear that. Mr. Kim, was there ever a case of a girl being held captive in Oklahoma City? I'm still curious about Sherlie's imprisonment.
When did it happen?
2004, late spring.
Wait a minute. As far as I can remember, there was no captivity in 2004. Could I have missed that?
No, Mr. Kim, I'm just asking. Then do you know about apps?
A smartphone app, you mean? An application is a software program installed on a smartphone. Is that what you mean?
Application on smartphone?
Yes, an app launched by one of the smartphone developers. Which other app?
I'm just speechless. It turned out to be true. There was no case of a girl being held captive in 2004. Then why did Sherlie and Alan's records lie by saying she was being held captive? It's impossible just to get Alan to come to Oklahoma City and look for her. Why did she talk about smartphone apps in 2004? Isn't it that in 2004 there weren't as many smartphones as there are today? After all, if I read the notes, the app she was discussing was most likely a messaging app. What did she mean by that? The Messenger application. Messenger was introduced by a Canadian mobile phone maker in 2005. Why did Sherlie know about it a year before it was released? I'm very curious and will investigate. There is a plot hole that I haven't found the answer to. I will be there again. Go back to Sherlie's house and ask her directly.
You'll be living your good life. Catch a glimpse from the outside, then you see me now, see me now, see now. Don't need any timeline to prove that this is my life. I can see it now, see it now, see now.
We are here.
Mr. Kim parked his car.
I still have business, you just go home first. Maybe I'll come home a bit late.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kim. I got down and entered the house. Mr. Kim was seen leaving his car outside the university complex and immediately drove his car away, leaving me. I went into my room, changed clothes, then sat on a chair while rereading Alan's notebook, which was now getting shabby. Alan wasn't lying. The story in this note is true. About the name of the street, Sherlie's house, even Sherlie herself. However, the Sherlie I met was very different from the Sherlie in Alan's notes. I don't know which one is right. I meant to read the notes again. There are still codes from Alan that I haven't deciphered yet. Looks very different writing at the end of Alan's notes. Why is this text crossed out? Does this post contain something that Alan is hiding from me? I read as much as I can. However, only the word man and the word know you are visible. In fact, there was someone other than Sherlie that Alan wanted to tell me about. But he discouraged his intention. But why? I'm getting curious. I'll investigate it. I kept Alan's notebook. Now, my stomach starts to feel hungry. I intend to find a cake or just a snack in the kitchen. I stopped when I saw a door that looked very worn before entering the kitchen. As it turned out, while I was here, I had missed this worn-out door. My curiosity arose to just open the door. But I doubt that this is Mr. Kim's secret place. And of course he would get angry if I entered without his permission. I didn't go into the room. I continued my goal to the kitchen, then took a snack and ate it. This cake is so good. A cake like this won't be in Woodstock. I'm eating a snack of dry cheesecake. I brought a few slices of cake to eat in my room. Then I closed the kitchen door. I saw that the kitchen door had 2 keys hanging. The other one key definitely isn't for locking the kitchen door. Because, there is an inscription on the body of the key. W.H. Warehouse? I said, guessing. I think this is the key to open the door earlier. I took the key and stepped towards the door I wanted to enter earlier. I casually inserted the key into the door's lock and started turning it. Turns out, it's open. Finally I know that the door to the warehouse. I'm curious. Then enter the room. Very damp and musty smelling. The room was also very dark. I'm trying to find where the light switch is. I started to turn on the light in the room. It turned out to be a very large room. Maybe as big as my room. This place is awful. I started walking just to have a look around the room. There are various shelves neatly arranged and dusty. Many files are piled up just like that. There is also a set of golf tools. I don't know if Mr. Kim loves the sport of golf. Okay, I'll be out. However, my eyes landed on a pile of cardboard stacked less neatly. I approached the cardboard. There is an old photo of a man posing for a classroom in the background. A well-groomed, well-dressed man. I took it and watched it. I flipped the photo over and there was a caption, Sean, 1,980 feet. Mr. Sean? I'm a little surprised to see it. I also found a pile of photos of the same man, but in a different place. I'm not sure it's Mr. Sean told by Mr. Kim. I finally put the photo back on the pile of old paper earlier. What's this? My eyes were glued to a slightly different pile of paper. Full of very neat handwriting. I thought it was a journal. My curious soul made me take a few sheets of paper and then read the contents. It's full of dust and worn out. However, it turned out that the writing was still legible. The contents are in the form of a notes made by Mr. Sean. I found the picture earlier. The creature? What's this writing? I was a little surprised to read the contents of the paper. A journey undertaken by Mr. Sean to a remote island in the North Pacific Ocean. The article said that if he was researching an ocean and found a place where a something he called the creature resided. Crazy. This like a fiction story. I immediately put the papers back. I'm afraid if Mr. Kim had gone home without me knowing, Mr. Kim would have scolded me for walking into this room. I left the room and headed to my room. I immediately rested, because tomorrow I will go back to class.